Good morning. This is Julie and Mom from the Old Tattered Flag. And this morning we're going to talk about a subject we get a lot of questions about. So that question is primarily from new hookers, and it is, why am I shredding my wool? So Mom, the floor is yours.
You're shredding your wool, A, because you're a new hooker, and B, because sometimes that's what we do. All I can say is everything is in how you're using your hook. And if Julie can kind of follow me, I'm going to just do a line across here. When I put my hook in, this is facing away from me. It looks like I'm scooping, which is what I call it.
It looks like she's twisting. I want to say we made a video several years ago, and a lot of people have said, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, Mom, but I wanted to before I forgot. A lot of people say, it looks like she's twisting it. I'm trying to do it the way she is. She's not twisting. She's scooping. So
I'm going to put this down slow motion, and you're going to change. I'm going to push it down. You're going to go underneath so they can see.
Okay, she's put her hook down.
You see it underneath?
See it?
I'm taking my hook, I'm grabbing it, I'm scooping it. I'm just...
I can't see because your finger's in the way. Well, you need those fingers to hook, huh?
I'm just scooping. That's all I'm doing. But it's my wrist motion that's changing how my hook is going down. So all I'm doing is scooping. Sometimes, I've been hooking for 26 years, sometimes when I look up and watch TV or something, I find I have grabbed a little bit. My one thing I can tell you is if you've done something here and there's a little shreddy part here, when you put your next line in, it's going to be there. If it really bothers you, I would take my scissors and I would trim it.
Okay. What I notice when I'm watching Mom teach a student is that they sometimes will put the hook down like you're hooking again. They sometimes will put their hook straight down, because they feel like the hook is what they're going to hook the wool. They're going to actually hook that wool strip. You're not hooking the wool strip. The little hook on the end is merely there to...
Right there?
Am I there? Yes.
Okay.
Is merely there to keep the wool from sliding off the shaft. So when she's pulling the wool up, that little hook on the end is just kind of holding that strip from falling off. She's not actually hooking into the wool, if that makes sense. I think primarily what new hookers do is that they put that hook in the strip, and that causes a lot of the shredding.
Okay, I want to show you something right here that you can see. On this piece of wool, which in itself, the type of wool you use has the tendency to give a little shred mark right there. Now, if that was really bothering me, which it's not, I would trim it.
You could probably go crazy if those little pieces bothered you.
Yes.
Don't let them bother
And my next row in is going to conceal it.
Right. Now, so talk to me about the different types of wool, though.
I think I just sniffed.
You sniffed, Mom. But we all sniff. We're human beings, for God's sake. And you know what?
Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay, so different types of wool. Now, I'm going to pan over here. Talk to me about the blue wool.
The blue wool is pretty good, does not shred.
So it's more of a solid, and you can see that it does not have any kind of like loose threads.
See that one right there?
Whereas when you get into a texture, a herringbone, some plaids, more loosely woven woolens, this one you'll notice right here is
See those?
very kind of nubby. One time we put a kit together with some really, really fabulous wool, but it was very loosely woven and very nubby. And we realized after a short time that that wasn't going to work for our kit. Much as we loved the wool for the look that it gave in the background, it wasn't something that a lot of hookers were receptive to.
And I have to say, when you are using wool for a pattern, sometimes I tend to use something that's very shreddy, but it's the look I want. I'm looking for that, and I'm okay with it if the back of my rug shows a bit of shreddiness. I'm okay with it because I'm getting the look I want, and I'm not really that concerned with the back of my rug as I am concerned with what I'm looking for in the front of my rug. I'm not saying I want the back of your rug to look bad. I'm just saying there are wools out there that will shred a little bit, and you have to, I guess I would say if you're a hooker who's not really anal about how you're hooking, you can accept that.
Well, and the thing is, if you are to hook a rug with all of this type wool right here, which is more of a solid, it doesn't have any texture, or see this wool right here, it has a beautiful diamond pattern in it, so it's going to be a little bit more shreddy. Now, having said that, you also have to be sure you cut your wool on the straight of the grain. I know people will get after me if we don't say that. Cutting your wool on the straight of the grain helps prevent those little shreds. However, these are so loosely woven that sometimes you're going to have these little things, and that's okay. If you hook your rug primarily with solids or woolens like this, and you don't add in some of these pretty textures and diamonds and plaids and herringbones and all that, you're probably going to have a bit of a flat looking rug. Correct, Mom?
Yes.
So that's why we love the textures, and we love the plaids, and we love the herringbone.
And can I say to new beginning people, do not beat yourself up. You're learning, and people will say to me, oh, if you could just see my first rug, it's so bad. Everybody has a first rug, and everybody gets to a comfort zone where they're working, where they eventually are very comfortable with how they're hooking, and it will come. Don't beat yourself up about it.
And hang your first rugs proudly, because then how do you know how far you've advanced if you don't look back at that first rug and you know, show it with pride. Speaking of that, I believe that my first rug is in that big red barn behind you, so I should practice what I preach and go get it and hang it up in my house. Anyway, we thought we would share this little video this morning. It's a beautiful morning in August, and we hope that helps you out with shreddy wool. Thank you.